Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sheila, and if you are new, welcome, and if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. For today's video, I am going to be doing a review on this Revlon foundation, and this is the Illuminance Revlon Skin Caring Foundation. It does have 5% squalene hyaluronic acid, so it does have some skincare benefits, I believe. So this is what the foundation looks like. So on the Revlon website, it does give a description of this foundation, so I'm just gonna go over that real quick. So it says, get the benefits of makeup and skincare in one. Skin looks naturally radiant and plump. You will see smoother looking skin and reduced appearance of roughness and wrinkles with continued use. It does have 5% squalene plus hyaluronic acid to deeply hydrate and moisturize your skin. It reduces appearance of fine lines and wrinkles within 4 weeks. It is infused with powerful botanical antioxidants to fight free radicals, blurs imperfections, leaves skin looking natural and radiant. So that are the claims for this foundation. So like I mentioned, I have been using this since my couponing video. So let's just go ahead and get started with this video so I can show you how I applied it, and then at the end I will be talking about the pros and cons of this foundation. So let's get started. If you are wondering about my headband, I did get it at CVS couponing in December when they had the gift sets, and this is one of the gift sets that I got. It had this this headband, and I think a scrub little sponge thing, and I forgot what else, but anyways, that is where I got it. So what I usually do is put 2 pumps. 1.5 pumps will work just fine, and like I mentioned, I did get the color Buff Beige. That is the color that I am in most Revlon foundations and most other foundations too. It just depends, and you don't need 2 pumps, but if I like a full coverage, then I will go ahead and do 2 pumps. So I am looking down at my mirror, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm in focus and in frame. Let's see. So I know it looks a little bit lighter on camera, but this color tends to work really well for my skin tone, because I do feel like it kind of oxidizes a little bit, but it oxidizes to a nice color. It doesn't oxidize to an orangey type color that most foundations tend to oxidize. So I really like that about this foundation, is that it does match my complexion really well. And I am using a Real Techniques brush that I also got couponing a couple of, like 2 years ago. They were having awesome Real Techniques sales during Christmas time with their sets. So I got most of my brushes and sponges from that sale. I actually still have like a gift set that I haven't opened, but anyways, I am using a brush. You can use a brush or a sponge. I did apply it with a sponge a couple of days, so I will be inserting a clip on how that applied. And so yeah, I do prefer a brush just because I feel like it gives me more of a coverage, and I have just been enjoying applying foundation with a brush lately. But I still go over with my sponge just so that I don't have any streaks, because of you do tend to get some streaks with this foundation when you use a brush. And as you can see, it does give me a glowy type of finish, but it's not like an oily type of shine. It is more of a natural kind of glow that it does give you. So that is one of the things that I like about this. So I am going to be talking about some of the things that I have found that I like, and I wrote some of those things down. The foundation does come in 28 shades, and the price of it is $17.99 at Ulta, but you can probably find it cheaper at Walmart. I did get this couponing like I had mentioned, and it was really cheap for me. I think it was like under $5. and so I really like the finish of it. It's like a satin finish. It does give a glowy look without looking oily. I've applied this foundation with primer, and I've recently started using this Pond's Perfect Color Complex Beauty Cream, normal to dry skin. It also has a little bit of glow, and it is kind of like a sticky moisturizer, so I have really been enjoying this underneath this foundation. I am not applying it right now, but in one of the applications videos that I showed, I am wearing it. I like it because it's kind of like a sticky moisturizer and the foundation sticks to it really well. I do believe that you can blend your cream bronzers and blushes really well with this foundation because it does have kind of like a sticky feel to it, so you do have to set this foundation. It does have good staying power no matter what you apply underneath it. Like if you use a primer, because I have used this primer by Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I have used it a little bit around my nose area since it is getting a little bit hot lately, and I do have oily to combo skin, but lately during the winter time I've had like really bad dry skin. I have also just used it with my regular daytime moisturizer, and it has also worked really well. The thing that I also find that I like about it is that any concealer that I have applied really blends really well with this foundation. So I am going to be using this Radiant Cream Concealer by Neutrogena. This is a concealer that I have been trying to use up, and this is a little bit darker than this foundation, but it's okay because once I apply bronzer and blush, I feel like everything just blends really well. And so I just use my regular sponge, and so it blends really well with this foundation. You do have to make sure that your skin is moisturized if you have dry skin like I do. I recently ran out of my eye cream, so today I'm gonna see if I can find one because I feel like eye cream really does help with concealer, especially if you have dry skin. So I really need to get some eye cream because my eyes, I feel like, are starting to get a little bit dry, like underneath the corner area of my eye, and the concealer, because it is a radiant concealer, does tend to blend really well. So I just wanted to show you how it blends really well with this foundation. That is how it looks like with my concealer on. As you can see, I didn't use all of it. I still have some foundation on my hands, so 1.5 pumps, like I had mentioned, would probably work just fine. I've had set it with several powders that I have, which are all drugstore. So I'm gonna be showing you which one that I feel like has worked the best, and that is with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This one, I feel like it makes it stay on all day, and I feel like it still gives you that glow peeking through kind of thing. I have also tried it with the Color Stay. With this one, I feel like it gives me more of a heavier look. If I use this one, more of like a good matte finish with this one, and so I like this foundation because of the glow. So I do want some of that glow to peek in, so that's why I prefer this powder. And I've also tried it with the Almay just regular pressed powder in the shade Light. This one works fine. It's just that I don't know what it is with this powder. I feel like this powder and this foundation, it just mix really well together. So that is how I'm going to be setting it today. I do have a long day today, so I need to make sure that this foundation stays on pretty well, and I do want some of that glow to pick through. I'm not going to use anything different to set my under eyes. I'm just going to use this powder because I am kind of in a hurry because I have stuff to do today. My son started soccer, and so my days have been filled with like work, because I do work part-time, work, and then coming home and then getting stuff done here, and then going to my son's soccer practice and taking him. And so yeah, I like my foundations to stay on all day so I don't have to reapply. I do have to touch up with some powder every now and then depending on what I've been doing. Like if I work and I wear a mask, I do go ahead and powder my face in the late afternoon when I have something else to do, because it does, this foundation does tend to rub off just a little bit off if you do wear a mask for work like I do. I'm just gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and talk about the pros and cons of this foundation. So I am done with my makeup and I'm just gonna go over what I used really quick. I did use the chocolate bar palette for my eyeshadow. It has been used and loved. For my mascara, I did use the Telescopic Lift mascara. For my lips, I did use this lip liner by Revlon. This is the color Stay in the shade Sienna, and it looks like this. And for my lipstick, I am using this Maybelline color in Mauve For Me, number 373, and it looks like this. Let's talk about the pros and cons of this foundation. So I have talked about some of these things, but we're just gonna go over everything. So it does come in 28 shades. You can buy this foundation for $17.99. If you coupon, you can probably find it cheaper. It is a satin finish. As you can see, even with powder, it does still have a little bit of glow, which I enjoy. It does have a long staying power, which it works really well for me because I do work part-time, and so I do need something that stays in, especially with my mask. So this does come off on your mask just a little bit, but it's not it doesn't compare to the Maybelline Fit Me. This one comes off a little bit more on my mask, and I love this foundation. This is also one of my favorite drugstore foundations. If I had to compare the two, this is a little bit more glowy. Doesn't stay as long because I feel like this is more for, even though it says matte and poreless, I do feel like this is more oilier than this foundation. So I prefer this one over this one. So this is shocking because this has been one of my favorite foundations, but this has slowly become one of my favorites just because of the staying power. I feel like it is not like oily, it's just satin, like a satin finish all throughout the day. So that's why I have been preferring this one. And it has a pump, and it is not as messy as this one. As you can see, the bottle is like so messy and dirty, and this one has a pump. And the reason why this is dirty is because I think one day is the way that I like pushed on it, I don't remember, but it's a lot more cleaner than this. I do find having a pump is just better. And yeah, so I do like that about it. I like that you can use a lot of the products with this foundation. I haven't had any issues with products not mixing well with this foundation. I've had used, like I mentioned, several powders with this. I have used not just this concealer, but I have also been using this one also by Physicians Formula, and it looks like this. I don't know the name of it. My mom gave this to me. And I had also used this one by Revlon. This is the Candid Concealer. I've talked about this before. So everything tends to work really well with this foundation, including primers or any other product that you use underneath this product, like your moisturizer, your serums. Everything tends to work really well with this foundation. I do feel like it doesn't matter what you use, the staying power is still there. I did mention how just everything blends really well with this. And so yeah, it does have a medium to full coverage. That's what I like about it. I like that it's not like, if I wanted something that was a little bit more, I don't know, like less full coverage, then I would use this one. I feel like this one gives me more coverage than this, so that's why I've also been preferring to use this one. So for the cons for this foundation, I actually don't have any, because you can use this foundation with the brush, with the sponge, everything blends really well with it. I haven't found anything that I don't like about this. So for this, I would honestly give it a 4.95 stars if I had to rate it. Highly recommend this foundation if you have oily skin, if you have dry skin. So I think it really does work well with everyone. It does say that it has hyaluronic acid, and to be honest, I feel like it hasn't. Oh, one thing that I want to say, I don't know if it's because it has the hyaluronic acid, but this is really good for sensitive skin, because I have sensitive skin, and I'm gonna be honest, sometimes when I have like busy days, The other day we had like a full clinic and I was just exhausted at night, and I fell asleep with my makeup on. And to be honest, this foundation has not broken me out. I haven't had any skin issues with it. So if you have sensitive skin, I will highly recommend this one. I haven't found any issues with breakouts or anything like that. I do have like hormonal breakouts where I get something like before my period or like during my period, but I know it's not because of this, because I have tried it for, like I mentioned, since my couponing video, and I've slept with it, unfortunately, but I have not had any skin issues with this. So really great for sensitive skin. So yeah, like I mentioned, I do give it a 4.95 or 4.97, I would say. So yeah, highly recommend this foundation. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you like these types of videos, don't forget to subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Instagram. I just do like daily updates. As some of you know, I love doing my own nails. Sometimes I don't get to record how I do my own nails, but I do post things on Instagram, on my stories. So if you want to follow me there, you can. So I'm going to put my little handle down below. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye.